Alright everybody, welcome back. Today is Friday, the 2nd? Yeah, I think it's the 2nd of August 2024. It's noon out in the dungeon. Not too bad a day. We're still under 100 degrees in here, so it's dreamy. Yeah, look at that. We managed to get the oscillator, the trimmer array that was here mounted on the front, and the I think it's the main coil, what do they call it, loop primary coil that was in here, in back here, that was soldered in on the back side, all removed, and here they are. Well, the other one is over here in the tray. We got it pretty much cleaned off. We still got to clean up the oscillator coil, and we got to clean this little trimmer array up. Let me see. Now, the one thing I want to impress on everybody, not to try to impress anybody, but you see what I had to do there. It's a major undertaking. Don't even think about getting one of these radios if you're a novice. Any of the 26XXXX radios. These here will turn your life miserable. You won't manage it. I'll tell you that right now. Even I bet you some of the big guys on the other YouTube channels, they won't even attempt this. I'll bet you anything. Maybe Buzz would do it. Maybe David Tipton would do it. But I don't think anybody else would. So don't let them yank you. I mean, this will test your metal. This is testing me to the limit. I'm doing this because I want to find out what my limitations are. A man's got to know his limitations. Well, I'm going to prove it right here on this one. I would not suggest anybody else to even attempt it. The reason I say that is because RCA does give you a layout on the pin outs of this oscillator coil, and they give you a layout on these two coils. But unless you have a parts listing, you won't know what L7 is. You won't know what L4, L5 is, L1 or L3 is. I only figured that out because, and that's that thing right there. There's two coils on it. There's these two that share, and there's one there. There are 4 coils on the oscillator coil, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. They show it as L9, L10, L11, and L12. And they give you the lug numbers on it for reference, and here they are here. Now, how do you know which one is which? Well, you're going to have to do a lot of head scratching for that. This thing here wasn't too hard to figure out, but I documented the layout of it as looking at it when it was installed. And gave it an ID until I found out what C26 was, C25, and 27, where they was. C25, 26. Here is C27, that's the wave trap. Here's C26 and here's C25. Here is your tuner on the oscillator side. I believe that's what that is. I haven't found the other side yet, on the antenna side, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere, waiting to be discovered. These wafers, there are 4 switch contacts in here, a front and a rear, and a front and a rear. This here, I think, I believe this here is the front side here, and the back side is here. There's contacts on the front half of that and the back half of that on each of those wafers. The oscillator coil laid out. Here's that one trimmer that is down in there. This is the triple trimmer. This is your primary coil for the loop, pickup coil. There's your L6, this is the main coil. Here's L7, which is your loop coil and on the thing. There is your antenna trimmer for that. Here's your trimmer for the RF, shortwave, I believe. And then here is this one. This one here is the one that's on top that still needs to be. Where are you? There you are, right there. It's got to be pulled. The only way to pull that is to get these two out. And with this mounted up in there, you're going to play hells to do it. Once you start messing around in this doggone chassis, you're going to break all these wires. See what I did? I mean, it's a nightmare now. Yeah. And there's more to come. I mean, all this yellow wire in here is super bad. Super bad. Even some of this cloth covered wire is. If you bend it, you're gonna have to replace it, because the jacketing will crack. Now we already showed that. So just about every stinking wire in here is going to have to be replaced. I don't know about the IF cans. They look like they're going to survive as long as I don't irritate them. Hopefully not. Boy, man. So, Don't even think of buying one of these. I mean, they're probably. I've never ran across an RCA that didn't work exceptionally well, all things considered, and everything copacetic. It's getting them refurbished. That's the big issue. The most concerning is because, yeah, like everybody else on this planet back then, they used these wires, and I think they probably had an idea of what was going on. I mean, after a couple of years, you know, you got to be reworked and everything. I'm sure they got feedback, you know, even like they do today. Feedback comes back and you realize, oh man, the rubber wires, they're giving out. Charlie, what are we going to do? Well, we'll have to take and consider ordering from a different supplier. Well, it took some time from mid-30s to maybe even late 20s to early 40s. They were still using this doggone crap. But, you know, like most restorers lately, by the time it goes bad again, I won't be around. Now you know why I want to leave a name for myself in the future, if we have one, that you don't have to worry about the wire much. And somebody else that has to work on it has got their bearings already thought out and laid out for them. They don't have to wonder where C10 is or C15 or 17 or which electrolytic is what number. They can look in there and say, oh, well, look at that. I wonder who did that. I did, me. So, anyway, there's what we're doing on that. I don't mean to talk, well, yeah, I do mean to beat my own horn, or beat my own drum, or blow my own horn. I hope that's it. But stay away from these chassis. Stay away from them. You see that one buried down in there. That's down in there. You'll never get to it. And if you try to get to it, you're going to screw everything up on here. That's going to be doing it. Don't even think about, well, I'm going to take and clean up the tuner banana slicer. You'll never get it off because the screws are down, buried underneath. This here is blocked out by the oscillator coil. This one over here is blocked out by the band switch. These here are going to be pretty difficult to get to. That one. If you have to replace the resistor in here, you're not going to get to it. Stay away from these radios, especially these kind of RCAs. Some of the other RCAs were a pleasure to work on, but that's another story. You might be able to find one of those. I think the last two RCAs that I did, 2 or 3 RCAs that I did, were quite a few years ago, and if I can remember a little something of those, I didn't segment all my refurbishment videos like I'm doing today, you know, in progress 1, 2, 3, 4. I just did it here and there, and what you got is what you got. I didn't explain anything or whatever, but some time ago long time ago, probably 7 years ago or better. I've always put the cap numbers in when I replaced them. That's how I learned where most of this stuff is coming from, and get my bearings. So let me see if I can get some light on this. There is that. If you wanted to freeze that and study that for a bit, you can. There's that. If you need that, you could probably print that out and save yourself a lot of trouble. That and that is just very, very. So I'll show everybody what I'm doing on this one here, and get it documented as much as possible, and reveal it to everyone. And if you can't make heads or tails out of it, let me know. If you need it, I'll send you the documentation so that you can make your life miserable. Yeah, snidely whiplash. So, I've blabbed enough for this segment, so I'm going to continue on to get this taken care of. I'm not that far away from it anyway, and so that we can pull that tuner off. It's I haven't got to the point of remorse yet, of thinking that, boy, I wish I never would have started this. I ain't there yet. So I'm going to keep chugging away on this, clipping and a snipping, and rocking and a rolling. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for letting me bend your ear for another segment. We will see you on the next one. I may plug something else in on the back side of this if I get that far. It's 12:15, and it's not a bad day out. I'm still 95 degrees here in the dungeon, and I don't think there's any clouds out to speak of. So if they comes rolling in, which they probably will, they did last night. I heard thunder and it was raining and everything. So the humidity levels aren't too bad. I'll get a chance to show you what transpires once I get this here removed. This big honking thing right here that's taped up and everything, and it's shielded, I believe that comes from the over here, which connects into the input of the RCA jack. So that's the reason why that is there. So remember what I said, lead dress. If you get something too long or too short or whatever, and run it the wrong way, and it tells you that in here, you'll be chasing ghosts for the rest of your life. Ghostbusters ain't even gonna be able to help you. So I'm out of here. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, I doed it. I doed it good. There we are. The top one that was over here, this one that was over here, and that one that was right up there. Well, right up there. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is leave those cans alone. I don't think, well, other than, buffing them up on the top side, I'm not going to do anything on the bottom side. they're not that grody. Well, cosmetically, yes. I mean, I'm gonna do them up good. This here is going to get cleaned up as good as humanly possible to maintain the look. But if it's not looking good enough, it's gonna get refinished. It's what I do. Still got to pull this out. Got that to do. Yeah, this thing here was a monster. You know, like worse than a Sasquatch and a honey badger put together. This here was pretty much already clipped up. Just needed to remove it. This one here, you'll never get off unless you get everything else removed. You're never going to do it. And you're never going to get it done. Just like I said in the previous segment. There are the other parts. Parts is parts. And so what we're going to do, it's still Friday. It's about 4:45 in the evening. We had showers earlier on a couple of different occasions, and she's cooled down really nice. It's only about 86 degrees in the dungeon. It's even cooler outside there, probably more like upper 70s. But I mean, it wasn't bad all day. So I've been out here all day again, trying to get this thing all documented and everything verified. That's a tough thing to do. I'll tell you. Take my word for it. Don't buy any of these radios. You'll be sorry. Because unless you want to just take and you won't be able to recap it. No. Some you'll get to, some a lot you won't. So don't even think about it. So we're going to I think we'll drop this in the tank and a couple of the other metal parts in the tank, and this here, yeah, I'm gonna have to take and do this as good as I can with spritzer and a wire brush, because there's rivets in this thing, and you'll never make it. So that's going to have to be, this tower right here is going to have to be cleaned up too. So, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one here for what you got out of it. I know it wasn't much, and you know, it would have just taken a long time to watch somebody chicken scratch this stuff in, and then go in there and validate the information of where it goes to, comes from, heretofore, where art thou, and document it. What I mean, like I said, that this wafer switch, this band selection switch, it's pretty easy enough to follow. At least they identified the wafers. this side here, 4 and 5, are the front wafer. One on the front side, one on the rear side of the wafer. Front side, the rear side of the wafer. S4, S5, S2, S3. So, I mean, now I didn't have to do my usual and sketch all that back up. I just verified that the lugs, once I determined which lug was wet, it was a pretty simple thing there, just to keep in mind which wafer they were talking about, S4, S5, S2, S3. Once I got that down, I put it in here, and that way I could refer to this instead of having to always wonder, now where in the hell was the front on the S4? So this here is going to get all the wires taken off of it, and this here fixed capacitor taken off of it, and we're going to take it apart and put this in the dip tomorrow and get it cleaned up. I've got these things indexed here. Let's see, I get my poker out of here and get the light there. You see that right there? And come on, get out of the way. There's one right down in there. I can't tell. It's just fricka-fricka-frickas. One right down in there. A little groove in here, so I can tell which one is which compared to the key. Where are you, key? On the front. So let me zoom out. This would be 1, and this would be 12. So that's what we do with that, because we're going to take it apart, and I need to know how to put it back together again. So this is going into that tonight. What else? This is going into that tonight. This is going this. Ah, dang, fricka. All of that's going to go into that tonight, and maybe this too, if I can get it. If I can get it to fit in there. And maybe the. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. I don't know, maybe this, maybe not this. So, we're done for the day. So, hope you got something out of it. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment or two, or many. And thanks for watching. And see you on the next one.